So you see how it like drops off here, and like on the other side of this, you know, what you might call like canyon now, there's like a wall on the other side. I don't know, like 20, 30 feet deep. I mean, this used to be like a lake. Like over 20,000 years ago, this was just filled with water. Around 8,000 years ago, after the ice age ended, there were like streams, and now it's just nothing. I mean, no water, that's what I mean. Didn't expect to see flowers this color right here. But I guess water pools here sometimes. There's like a really low area of the wash, so a plant like that can make it. So the colors might be tough to discern the differences through the camera, but there are 4 layers of sediment here, and the lowest layer, which is the biggest like depth, but the lowest layer, which is called layer B1. Been reading this thing right here. Sand and silt deposits from about 55,000 to 100,000 years ago. These are very colorful too. I mean, yeah, the sign said, you know, at the lowest levels of the marsh, you know, the water pools and things like this could survive. Just before that, didn't expect to see anything like this. By the way, just saw the second thing run across the trail. No way, it's so small I can't get a good footage of it. I don't know what it is. Looks like the size of like a mouse or a gerbil, but I've seen 2 of them in the last few minutes. There's very small, like furry mammals. No idea what the actual animals are. Sign said I might see, been seeing a little bit of birds. Sign said I might see some lizards, haven't seen them. Some coyotes, haven't seen them, but I have seen these very small mammals run across the trail a couple times now. I don't know if you would quite call that a tree out there, but this looks cool. This area, it was just like what I would call deadpan, and now there's these whatever they are out in the middle of that. It's a little taller than a bush, but like a pretty small tree if you're going to call it a tree. But it's cool that it can survive out here. And there's the high school. Alright, I think that's going to do it for this my time at Ice Age Fossils State Park. So that trail with the metal sculptures, and I showed a few of those animals, that was a very basic trail very close to the visitor center. Then I walked about half a mile to the start of the Big Dig Trail, and yeah, a lot of my time I was seeing signs about the, you know, excavation and things like that. And at some point I was on the Las Vegas Wash Trail. Didn't really realize when I switched from one to the other. I realized I was seeing signs about the wash and I was in the wash, but I don't know, I wasn't really following on the map like when I kind of crossed over. And now I ended, you can see that I'm ending here at the wash trail. The woman inside said the wash trail starts right behind the mammoth, and there is the mammoth. So somehow I went from the Big Dig Trail to the wash trail. All right, that's cool. I think I saw everything except for maybe like a small portion of the Big Dig Trail that just kind of got me back towards the visitor center at the end. But because there's no way, I didn't like do the Big Dig, come back, do the wash, come back. Like they're both loops really. At one point I kind of crossed over from one to the other, but whatever. All right, that's gonna do it. That was long. I imagine yesterday's video was the Orleans and half of this, and today's video is the second half of this, and I'm gonna play MGM later. So enjoy these half poker, half non-poker videos, and I'll give you a close-up on this mammoth sculpture to end this half of this video. Alright, I've been playing at MGM, so I went to sleep at like 6:30, woke up at like 10:30, been playing here, it's like it was 1:17 when I left the table, and I've been playing almost 2 hours. Steve Aoki just walked by, he's playing Hakkasan tonight, huge entourage. It's the easiest way to spot those guys when that happens. Little John, same thing, he's walked by before, huge entourage. What's going on? This hand happened. $8, call, all in for $226. The original raiser who made it 8 thought for a while, but everyone eventually folded. Oh, a few things I wanted to mention. Jeff Madsen, forgot to mention him. He was playing the Orleans event yesterday. He actually completed with a 2 showing in 7-card stud high. And not because he had a great hand. He correctly thought that most people at the table didn't realize we had switched from Raz to stud high. And people thought they were playing Raz and saw his 2. And a lot of people folded because of that. What else is going on? Oh, the Ice Age Fossils State Park. It was not free. It cost $3. So yeah, if you live in town, definitely go. Even if you're in town without a car, the Uber ride probably isn't insane. Uber rides from a place on the strip to another place on the strip could be ridiculous. Someone at PH the other day said Uber from PH to Harrah's was $30, which is so stupid. But from the strip to off the strip, sometimes isn't ridiculous. I was playing with a guy once here in MGM. He was between going to Wynn to hang out with his friends and going to Umami on the northwest side of town to eat sushi. And the Uber ride from MGM to Umami was cheaper than from MGM to Wynn. MGM to Wynn is like what, 1.5 miles, 2 miles? Something like that. MGM to Umami is like, I don't know, 20. Oh, and it's a few minutes after that scene at the end of the state park where I showed that mammoth. I didn't read the sign till after I filmed that. I don't know if you could tell, it was made out of like bits of metal. There was a cleanup effort because before it was a state park, people would just hang out there and like leave garbage, as people do. There was a cleanup effort to clean the land, and then they used all that debris and trash to build that mammoth out front. So that was pretty cool. So I'm gonna head back in and play. I don't know if I have a lot longer. Kind of tired and kind of bored, but need these hours. All right, done playing. Got 3 hours, 2 minutes in. I'm getting there. Interesting thing about the rake. So not that long ago, I made the video about the ridiculous comments. One guy said every place in the world is $5 rake, which is not close to true. And I said every other place on this block is 6 max. At the time of the video that led to that miserable guy leaving that comment, it was. MGM, Bally's, Aria, Bellagio were all 6 max. About a month ago, MGM changed. It was 6+2, now it's 5+3. So there you go. And in that vein, I counted. I was kind of bored at the table. I counted rake for one of our downs. It was a perfect 30 minutes, and the dealer got $59 in rake in 30 minutes. So 118 per hour and 5 max. 1-2 blinds, 5 max. Both those things matter. If it were 1-3 every time 4 people saw the flop, there would be rake. At 1-2, pot's only $8, so there isn't. And yeah, $5 max, much different than 6 max. Council Bluffs at 7 max. Places in California can be like 8 or 9, something like that. So, oh yeah. So I wanted to give you the information, and if you read the newsletters, I wanted to compare. I wanted a non-Planet Hollywood stat of that kind, because in the next 2, either the next or 2 newsletters from now, there's going to be some information about rake and dealers, and it was important to have a 5 max stat to compare. So tiny sample, it was just 1.5 hour, but it's all I got. So I'm done for today and this video. Tomorrow, doing something, I don't think it'll be quite as cool as Ice Age Fossil State Park, but something similar. That, and then poker after, is the plan right now. And remember, rice is a spoon food.